You wonder why life has turned out so poorly. It is because society is slowly poisoning you. It has been since before you could think for yourself, and that is why you do not recognize it. It is like taking a frog and putting it in a pot of water and then turning the heat on. The water warms up gradually to the point where it comes to a boil. But the frog never jumps out and ultimately gets boiled to death. I know this might seem a little bit grim, but this is just an analogy of what's actually happening to us as a human race. But try to put that same frog into the same water, but after it comes to a boil, and it jumps out immediately. We would do the same thing if we realized what was actually happening to us. If someone were to take you and skip you right through, you know, um, childhood, and when our minds are initially developing and not realizing, not being able to comprehend what's actually happening to us, but at the same time being conditioned to the point where we don't actually get what is happening to us. And for me, it took a few really hard knocks in my life later on. I'm up my early 40s. I'll admit it. But it really took a couple hard knocks, in fortunately for me it was in my at least in my early 30s when the hard early to mid 30s when the first hard knocks came around, and just really rattled me so hard that I finally came to realize that there's just has to be a better way to living life than just being, a grunt worker, a slave to somebody else, and only making at a job a fraction of what I'm worth. You can take this same analogy that society is slowly poisoning you, because that is exactly what happens to more than 90% of the population. And this is why so many never live the way life is meant to be experienced. Humanity does seem very cruel. And in a way it is, because it thrives off people's ignorance. But that is only one side of it that most people see. Society is slowly poisoning you. All you have to do, though, is make a conscious decision, and before long, you can break free of the negativity. That's all it is. It's just a negative trap. Like I said, that was conditioned into us before we could even start thinking for ourselves. Because it is the negative side of things that are most obvious that keep people in fear. All you have to do is face the fear that is predicated by society, and you will see that there really is nothing to be afraid of. A little bit of extra hard work. But when you're actually doing something that you love, something you're passionate about, you can do it all day, every day, and it does not seem like work. It just becomes a lifestyle for you. To just recognize that society is slowly poisoning you is a huge leap for anyone. Because once you understand this, once it truly sets in, it will give you the drive and momentum to do whatever it is you have to do to become independent and responsible for yourself. The next step is to start feeding your mind with positive information, and it really helps when you distance yourself from anyone that does not have the same vision you do. Sacrifices are a hard thing to make, but if you ultimately want to create that better life for yourself, it's what you have to do. Even if the people you're surrounded with seem like nice people, it is because of your surroundings that have the most influence on your decisions, and those surroundings are mediocre minds. And more than likely, when you're surrounding yourself with mediocre minds, you're only going to make mediocre decisions. The way to break free and even have a chance at creating the life you are aiming for is to get as crystal clear as you can. To start learning from people that are already making it happen. Take advantage of the newest strategies and innovations and work with a team that is constantly coming up with new ideas about how to create the lifestyle you want for yourself. Because the people you have surrounded yourself up to this point in your life with are not having that impact that you need. In order to get that impact, you need to start corroborating with through means of video or books. Those are the best ways to connect with mentors, with people to learn from. That is the way to create the lifestyle you want for yourself, is to learn from those who already have created the lifestyle that you want. All you have to do is, for your first step, is click on the link in the bottom of the description, or there may be a link directly below this video, and start digging into all the information that you can. And I promise you, if you work hard, you put the effort in, you change your direction from being just an employee-minded person to being independent and responsible for yourself, life will change for you. You just need to prove that you're deserving of it.